All right, welcome to the continued action meeting. Thanks for everybody joining us. Nice to see some faces out there, and welcome back to the school year and the continued meeting. Technically, it's the first one of the year. So, couple housekeeping announcements to make. I got to get in there. Sorry, guys. So we're going to call this meeting to order. Just like to request that all electronic devices be turned off or put on silent for the duration of the meeting. And we thank everybody for their cooperation in that. Sure. So we're going to welcome everybody to stand with us in a moment of silence and the Pledge of Allegiance. So we got a couple public comment cards. We're going to lead off. Go ahead and get those out the way. So George, DACA.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the school year. My name is George Daca. I live in 402 Penn Street over in Croydon. I'm also the BTA president. I've been working at the Bensalem High School for the last 23 years, going to my 23rd year. With that being said, I just want to kind of lead off and talk about how at the end of school last year, I talked about retention and recruitment. At that time, we were looking at the loss of 21 educators for various reasons. Over the summer, we have seen even more educators leaving the field and leaving Bensalem School District. And even tonight, I believe there's even more BTA members and other educators that are leaving. I kind of feel that the biggest problem that we face, and I'm going to use the word expense. So often we look in education and we look at the expense on how costly are all of these different items, whether we're talking about programming, whether we're talking about time. It's all about the expense. And we have to change our thinking. We have to change the idea that it is not an expense. What it is, ladies and gentlemen, it is an investment. It is an investment in this community. It is an investment in these students. It is an investment on giving the keys to these students, these kids, to have the opportunities and to move forward in a way that is positive for everyone, reflecting this community. Everyone around that table is that you've been voted in to move this education system forward in a positive way. We have to stop looking at it as an expense and look at it as an investment today, an investment tomorrow, and an investment in the future. Please, as we move forward and through this school year, I really ask all of you to look at this as a new way of looking at some of the situations that will be coming up, as it's an investment and it's money well spent as that, an investment. Thank you.
So we have one more, Candace Kelly.
Hello, everybody. So it's my first meeting, so it's a little awkward for me, I guess. Hi, I'm Mark. So I have 5 children. 2 of my children have been in Salem Township, and 3 of them are in school aid. I do have a question about I guess, what's the procedure when you have, so my oldest is 13, she's entering 8th grade in Snyder. And my second oldest is 12 and he's going into 7th grade. My question is, so right now I want to register him, but they're telling me that Snyder's full, right? He's incoming from School Lane. He went there from I think like 1st grade to 6th grade, and just due to clubs and more opportunities that Bensalem public schools have to offer, they want to go back. So I registered him, and he has to go now to Schaefer. So my question is, what, I guess, systems that you guys would have in place, possibly for the future, or I don't know if there's actually something that can specifically be done for my current situation. But it's a little troubling for my son. Like, I had to let him know, hey, listen, you have to walk your sister to school and then bypass her school to walk across the street. And we live in Bucks Meadows, so literally the back part of the complex is open to the back of Snyder. So there's confusion for him, there's sadness for him, and they wanted to have their middle school experience together, because after her 8th grade, she's going to the high school. And then a little bit more information, I have an 11-year-old. So my first 3 children are already apart. So at some point next year, my other son is going to want to go to Snyder. And my concern is there a thing in place, or maybe something that the schools could discuss, to where maybe there is like some type of email or something sent home to 7th graders, their parents, maybe the last marking period, to say, hey, are you having any siblings that are incoming in 7th grade that you can prove that's your actual sibling, you know, birth certificate and all that, that's living under the same household. So there are spots that are left for siblings first, and then whatever opening spots that you guys will project to having will be for anyone that's coming out of district. Like, technically my son came out of district because he's with School Lane. I know they're not a part of the same district, although we've lived in Bensalem for the last decade. It's just a concern because I feel sad for my son, and I'm feeling a little emotional about it because I have 2 kids in the same household that have to go to 2 different schools. So that's a little frustrating for me. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. If you could provide your contact information, we have it here, right?
We have,
Yeah. So we'll be back in touch regarding your situation. Thank you.
So, being a little rusty, I went out of order, and I got to make a couple more housekeeping items to remind everyone out there in TV land that the board's meetings are broadcast live over Channel 28, Verizon 5, Channel 32, on our live stream on our district website, as well as recorded for future broadcasts. So then the next item is going to be, I want to entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Against, by saying nay. Abstentions. I'd like to make a motion to approve the following consent agenda items: instructional affairs items G 2 through 3, and personnel items I 1 through 7.
So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All those against signify by saying nay. Abstentions. Motion carries. Solicitor's report.
Mr. President, nothing to report outside what we discussed in our executive session.
I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the administrative remedy to reinstate students F, G, I, N, and O for the 2021-2022 school year in accordance with the terms of the withdrawal, waiver, and release agreements. Students will return to Bensalem Township School District under the terms and conditions of the agreement. That should be different school year, right? Gotcha. Thanks, Susan. Need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All those against signify by saying nay.
I'm nay.
Motion carries. Motion to approve the settlement agreement and release for student B as reviewed in executive session under confidential student matters. I am sorry. Motion to approve the retirements, resignations, and terminations. Was that in consent too? I'm so sorry. I'm rusty, Susan. I'm rusty. I took a month off. I got rusty. Yeah. So we have some closing remarks to make. Executive session of the Board of Directors was held prior to this meeting to discuss matters concerning confidential student matters, labor negotiations, employee personnel matters. Upcoming board dates: August 17th, Committee of the Whole at 6 o'clock. August 18th, Public Relations and Outreach, 6:30. And August 23rd, the regular action meeting at 7:30. I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Against, signify by saying nay.